Today's informative speech is on endangered species. And what exactly is an endangered species? It's a species of plant or animal that is at risk of becoming extinct. And there have been many attempts to save these animals. In 1973, Congress passed a law that mandated a continuous update on a list of species that were threatened to become extinct. And how does a plant or animal make it to the endangered species list? They make it by simply not having enough population, and by that I mean they're either dying faster than they reproduce, or they are not reproducing at all. And why are species endangered? Well, there's many of reasons, but most of it's by human activity. Habitat loss. The human population is growing, and we have to make room for all of us, so we start building and destroying other lands and environments, which means the animals and plants there are either going to die or be forced to relocate to an environment they're not used to. There's hunting, which, we all love to hunt, but if we don't have a certain limit that we can only do, then we're going to hunt too much, and we're going to kill off a certain animal, and they're not going to be able to reproduce anymore. There's invasive species, which pretty much means an animal that is not native to the land, and they're brought by humans, not always on purpose, sometimes on accident, but when they're brought to the new environment, everything changes there, and things go out of order. There's climate change, which, that's with all the changing weather and things like that, and specific animals and plants need a certain type of weather to be able to survive, and if they don't have that weather, then they're going to die. There's disease brought by domestic animals or human traveling that wild animals can't naturally heal themselves from because their immune system's not used to those diseases. There's collection, which pretty much means you go out and you find wild animals in excess. You get as many as you can just to be able to sell them. And there's pollution, which with plastic and everything like that being thrown on the ground, and acid rain and things like that. Alright, so what is being done to help endangered species and whatnot? Well, there's habitat restoration, which pretty much means you're reintroducing native species to their natural habitat, and you're trying to remove the invasive species, the animals that don't belong there. There's habitat preservation, which is you're protecting areas. You're making areas protected, such as national parks or things like that. And they're starting to do a lot of breeding animals in captivities like zoos and things like that, and introducing them into the wild. There's anti-poaching laws, which is hunting certain animals or locations are illegal, and if you get caught, then you get fined or get jail time or anything like that, which deters people from hunting in those specific areas or those specific animals. There's wildlife corridors, which pretty much means with us building interstates and things like that, it kind of disconnects certain habitats from each other, and it's being made to reconnect those two habitats by doing something to work around the interstates and things like that. And of course there's a lot of laws and policies and things like that that protects endangered species. Right? So what can we do to protect endangered species? There's a lot we can do. For instance, we could recycle, not be throwing paper and plastic and pretty much anything that's not biodegradable on the ground for animals to eat and get sick off of. We can use less energy. We can speak up, and we can try to make certain areas eco-friendly, so we can have a small little area that's friendly to the environment. We can clean up by picking up trash and things like that. We can get involved, which means donating to World Wildlife Foundation and things like that. Just trying to give people money, I guess you would say, to be able to help out endangered species and try to protect the environment and whatnot. And you can just kind of spread the word. If you hear about an animal that's been endangered, you could and it's an animal that's hunted, you could probably tell people about it, and maybe you can convince them not to hunt the animals for a few years so they can have time to reproduce and whatnot. So, yeah. And without a steady plant and animal population, the balance of nature would be out of order, and we definitely would not be where we're at today. Because I think that population control should be done naturally, and I don't think that we as humans should try to play God about it and destroy their habitats and whatnot. So, hope you guys enjoyed the speech.